This video is brought to you by absolutely nothing.
Oh, snap.
You just talked.
You'd rather watch clickbait, shills, or agenda-driven douchebags whose biases are showing. No thanks to you.
I mean, come on.
You ain't gonna watch this video, but if you do, like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you really like what you see here, support us on Patreon. Captain on deck. Remember, he doesn't know I speak English.
Sup, fuckheads and fornicators, 'tis I, your fearless leader, and you know how for years I've been promising the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Well, I just started it just now, and the laziest way possible. I'll explain how I did it, and as you know, this video originally was on the Don't Watch Mojo channel, but we all know what happened to that channel.
Well, duh. And I know you're all sick of the Shadow Vessel videos.
Silence!
This channel needs more comic reviews and fun stuff rather than
Nag, 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 nag!
So I've decided to re-upload this review and add a few bells and whistles, special edition style.
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Because, you know, 2099 and Star Wars parody all rolled into one. Might as well be like George Lucas and...
Stop!
As promised, Married with Children 2099. A sci-fi spin-off of the hit sitcom inspired by Marvel's 2099 titles.
In a future without heroes.
Al Bundy dozes off during a sci-fi movie and dreams that he living in the future.
We are the future!
But still with a depressing job and annoying family.
That's right, envy me. That's my wife, those are my kids, and I sell women's shoes.
I haven't read this in a while. First time I read it was when it first came out in June of 1993, marking this year the 30th anniversary.
I know that's sad, right?
Ironically, the same time my girlfriend was born.
Give me a second, I'm gonna sip more of this smart bitch.
That's ex-girlfriend, you fucking loser.
Chapter 1 is Recognized Authority on June of 1993.
Plus the fucking message is bomb.com.
Respect my authority!
Chapter 2 is called Rebellion on Moonbase 3 that came out in July of 1993.
Fuck yeah!
Be buddies with that shit.
The final chapter is called Demanding Your Civil Rights, which came out in August of 1993.
Just so you know how woke I am.
It reads like a Mad Magazine parody of the 2099.
I mean, come on!
You ever read the Married with Children comics? It's drawn very cartoony. It's from Now Comics, appropriately a Chicago-based comic company that doesn't exist anymore. And their main bread and butter was doing like licensed comics, so like Twilight Zone, Green Hornet, Terminator, Speed Racer, Ninja High School. They primarily did like stuff that like Marvel didn't care to have, similar to Dark Horse. And speaking of Dark Horse comics, you know what would be really cool if like Umbrella Academy and Resident Alien were in the same universe, and that, you know, the monocle, Dr. Harkness himself, is actually, you know, the same alien race as our alien from Resident Alien. That would just be kind of cool, huh? But Dark Horse isn't known for doing a multiverse or having their own universe. Last time Dark Horse tried to do their own, like, I'll say, comic universe, it was Comics Greatest World with X and Barbed Wire, and the movie they greenlit from that comic universe was Barbed Wire, and then they made the character look like Pamela Anderson, and the movie bombed. But forever to this day, the character Barbed Wire is just basically Pamela Anderson.
Come on!
That's one thing I noticed, that Dark Horse, because they're not owned by Disney or Warner Brothers, can still do that what Marvel used to do, which is kind of like experiment with things, because a lot of their characters are creator owned.
It's a business opportunity.
I mean, hell, their bread and butter is just, you know, doing stuff based off of other things, their original stuff. I support Dark Horse. It's the only company really go to. I mean, they give rock stars their own comics. I mean, they did Slayer, and they gave Gerard Way 2 series. They did Killjoys, which was a follow-up to his album, but apparently the album story was better than the fucking comic series by far. And they did Umbrella Academy.
Shut up and get to the point!
Before I continue, let's bring on today's sponsor. No thanks to you. Yep, no thanks to you. We don't get any fucking hype, anything that really matters. And
Seem to have an open door policy for assholes, though, don't they?
this, you know, mini-series is only 3 issues, so I was able to read it quick, hence why this video will be right away. And it starts with Al Bundy, you know, finally having a night to himself and is watching sci-fi movies and passes out, and then now is in the world of 2099. And, you know, he has to have a school assembly or a meeting with a counselor who's an ex-girlfriend of his who's now hot and looks like Princess Leia, and she's married to Captain Picard.
Make it so, Mr. LaFord.
When this, you know, was published, it was published when Bud and Kelly were out of school. You know what I mean? They already were already adults. But this one roughly takes place when they're still going to school, you know, when they're still teenagers.
The thing you pulled in the calf today was pretty severe.
Yeah, well, the extreme always seems to make an impression.
And Bud Bundy is exiled to the dark side of the moon, and he has to speak up for him. And it's really funny seeing all these little cameos and shit, like, you know, like Al Bundy gets a parking ticket from Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
Spider-Man 2099's jaywalking. Hired minions look like Punisher 2099, and
not even this, huh? Is Oprah right? Are you a big fat woman?
I like it. It's funny. You know, it's very immature. It's very dated. I mean, the references they make is like, you know, there's like, it's supposed to be 2099, but people still use fax machines apparently. And yeah, just some of the references are pretty, yeah. But yeah, that's episode 1. Then, you know, issue 2, they all get exiled to the dark side of the moon, and then he runs into Cord, a parody of Cable, and then Doom 2099 is the warden of the dark side of the moon prison. Oh yeah, the Princess Leia lookalike. She dumps Captain Picard and is now dating Grand Moff Tarkin, who's now like this, you know, Alchemax, as in, you know, Alchemax from 2099. And then Hulk 2099 are like the, you know, the guards, and they have like Terminators who are like run the place and shit, and then they escape through Cord. And like I said, another reason why this is very dated is how at the time Cable had a cameo in almost every comic, you know? So yeah, pretty funny. Then they escape on the Millennium Falcon and have to stop, you know, the evil Tarkin and the Doom 2099 character named Death. And you get the idea, it's all a dream. What's funny about issue 3 though, it opens with Rod Serling.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
Is it worth getting? It's probably cheap on fucking eBay. That's where I got it. I would love to see a trade out of it just to have it in my collection. You know what I mean? If you're a fan of Married with Children, I read it. If you're a fan, but like I said, it's more like it feels like a comic that could have just been in Bad Magazine. You know? So all in all, I give this issue probably it's 3 out of 5.
And then,
after years of promising it, I'm finally doing my deep dive of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and you're gonna laugh why.
What the fuck is going on?
Well, I watched my comfort movie, Death of Stalin. That movie's fucking hilarious. I highly recommend it. I'll talk about that later. But most importantly, yeah, one of the recommendations after that was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the 2005 version. And I'm like, it's fate telling me it. So I watch it, and yeah, the parts from the book, word for word, is awesome.
No way. Yes way.
It reeks of the year it came out because Disney made it, and this is a few years before they bought Marvel. You can totally see this is like a sneak preview of what they did to all their properties. First thing I noticed in it is they made Ford Prefix, who's supposed to be a ginger, black, and then they had Zoe Deschanel play Trillian, and then also being the product of its time, they made Zaphod Beetlebrox be like George W. Bush, president of the galaxy and a complete douchebag. Instead of having 2 heads and 3 arms, he has a CGI thing under his chin, and a 3rd arm randomly shows up to save up on CGI budget or even like practical effects. Come on! Imagine if it was made like in the 2010s. They'd model him after Trump. The updated Vogons are pretty cool.
Stupid silent blue boy.
The thing that really got on my nerves is how they just added something that can only change the story. And what I mean by that is they bring in John Malkovich to play some weird alien character who is a rival for running for president against Zaphod. And
save up my lunch. Explain why his 2 heads and 3rd arm doesn't show up.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Then the follow-up to that, when they go to Magrathea, the point of view gun invented by housewives, not in the original book. And of course, it's a way for just to have character development a bit more for Trillian, because Trillian didn't really have a character in the books, which I think it's cool how you did that. But you gave her more like empowerment thing when she gets the point of view gun, and how the point of view gun doesn't work on her because it was invented by women.
Come on!
That's some Mary Sue shit. Just forced.
Snap.
I should have saw this a mile away right before Force Awakens.
What did you say, dickhead?
I'll repeat myself.
They save up on budget, they get lazy.
I've made a huge mistake.
The other added scene they add too is how they use the point of view gun on the Vogons with Marvin, and they get all depressed, and that's how they escape. But I'm done with this bullshit. Like, you're not gonna watch this. But if you do like what you see here, comment, like, dislike, share it if you want. I go into more detail, but I'm just trolling you anyway. I mean, after all, you all can suck. Shout out to my patrons.
Necronicki, Shadow Vessel, The Fly Attractor, Count Morivon, Janitor J, Ryan Zacher, Gary Mossberg, and James Quinn.
Coming soon, I will be reviewing the DC comics from the 90s, as well as I'm gonna read up on the book again. I've just been lazy.